Davis.
Sure, I'll go first. So earlier this evening in our civics and economics lesson, we read these words. Each branch balances each other out as set up in our Constitution. It's my belief that the action that the county took last night violates one of the most basic principles that our republic, since its founding in 1787, has been based on. Separation of powers and checks and balances. We can't imagine that the president would ever decide how much money we're going to spend as a nation, or that Congress would decide those are unconstitutional. In fact, the times when we have had that happen, for instance in 1868, put our country in peril. Now, no, this action wasn't nearly to that scale, but it essentially violates the same principle. The citizens of Mecklenburg County elected the county commission to govern the county and to allocate funds to the public education system. Same citizens elected us to govern the school system, and with that, the responsibility for deciding how funds are spent. My belief that the county violated that role and responsibility, crossed the line, which is no more appropriate than us sharing with the county how to raise money. It's not our role. We stick to our role, they should stick to theirs. And in fact, each of us took an oath in accordance with our state constitution to perform those duties, and only those duties. And I think this action violates that oath. Even more, I question the legitimacy of the restriction. Just read with me the statement on slide 3 that apparently came directly from the county ordinance. Is that correct?
I did try to get the most recent. This is my understanding. This is the most recent language of the resolution.
So read it with me. The CMS provides the Board of County Commission with evidence that those funds that are restricted have been used to give all employees a 3% salary increase. That's impractical. How can we increase pay for our employees with funds we don't even have? We must first have the funds. Then we can give employees a pay increase. It's impractical the way it's written. Moreover, what kind of evidence must we provide? A pay statement? Well, we can't do that unless we have the funds. And it's interesting that over the past 4 years, no one has asked for evidence of the pay decrease that our staff has received. It's pretty easy for us to provide that. Ms. Stinson Wesley and I saw it at Providence High School the other day when a teacher showed us her W-2. So just on the whole, I think this restriction is without merit. Furthermore, it's supposedly because you can't trust us. Show us an audit of our books that shows the slightest impropriety in the use of funds. I'll defend our staff. Show me one member of our staff that hasn't used these funds properly. It's without merit. We may use the funds different than someone else thinks we should. That's subject to debate. That's our system. But to say we've misused them is totally wrong and is unjustified in this restriction. I think the real problem we have is we have a flawed process. One in which we're required to make assumptions and prepare a budget without knowing what our funders will provide. And it's essentially the same flawed process the county's in. And I share their displeasure with it. A much better solution would be to have the state, our funding source for both the county and the school system, decide their budget first, and then we follow afterwards. That would not only decrease the tension between us and the county, but actually better serve our students. But at the end of all that, the real question that this issue raises, do our employees deserve a 3% increase? That's the ultimate question. And in a town where we repeatedly find ways to fund football stadiums and whitewater centers and halls of fame and other very good and sound public purposes, look what we go through when we just ask for a simple, modest, well-deserved 3% increase for our staff. I think we can do better. I know we can do better. And so I hope tonight we make no rash decisions or statements, but that we defend our staff, we point out the real flaw in the structure, and we remain determined to provide our staff what is certainly a well-deserved raise. Thanks.